from Morton Partners. Parks and Partners, the next team.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How's everyone doing?
Okay.
My name is Rosa Strata, and I'm with Penrose. And I'd like to introduce our team. But first of all, I'd like to let you know that we are very excited to be here and very committed to fulfilling the vision of this community with you and integrating all of your thoughts and ideas in the process. With me today is Carl Ruff. He's our Vice President for Penrose Management. I have Akash Thakar, who is our partner in our home building. Andre Johnson, who is our co-developer. Larry Kramer, who is with Harkins, our general contractor. And Michael Winsick, who is a principal with Winsick & Associates and is our architect and master planner. Now, before I hand the mic off to our colleagues, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Penrose and a bit of who we are in our history. And first of all, I want to talk to you about what our mission is, and I'm going to read it to you word for word. We are passionate about fostering a culture of respect, maximizing the value of our community, fulfilling our social mission, and welcoming our residents home. And home is the key word here. Our homes are very important to us. Where you live sometimes dictates the opportunities that are before you. And Penrose has 35 years of history in creating homes for people. We've developed 16,000 units in 180 communities in 12 different states in the Mid-Atlantic region. And I think that's very important to note that we have the scale and capacity to undertake this particular development. We're also not just owners and developers, but we're also managers. We are currently managing about 9,500 different units in 153 different properties. We have experience with both affordable and market rate, with mixed use, mixed income, commercial, rental, for sale. All of these things are going to be important, we believe, in this community. With regards to what we hope to accomplish here with you is a development that speaks to quality. Quality in design, quality in construction, and that integrates the community in every single step of the process. And we do have experience in managing mixed income communities, truly mixed income communities. We have experience with various different types of district financing and public resources, and both individually and collectively, our team has experience with all of the district agencies, and we can interact with them to get the job done. And that's going to be really important here, to be able to push all of the different facets of the public community to get this redevelopment on the road and done in a timely manner. We also have a proven track record. Over the last 5 years, in some of the most distressed economic times that we've probably seen in the affordable and mixed income housing field, we've developed approximately 55 different, we've closed on the financing for 55 different projects over the last 5 years, worth about $1 billion. And about 50% of that total development cost was actually privately financed. We also have local DC experience. Now, we are based in Philadelphia. We have an office in Baltimore. We've had that office in Baltimore for probably about the last 10 years. We have a pipeline of 18 different projects, and we've developed 1,500 units in the region. We're currently developing Deanwood Hills, which is another new communities initiative, and that's about 150 units, and we're developing that in partnership with some of the folks on this stage. So one of the other things that I want to talk to you about is also relocation and supportive services, because I know those are topics that are very important to you. Led by Penrose Management Company, we have a very experienced team of relocation counselors who have very detailed tools to find out what the residents' needs are and take those needs into account. That's very important that we work hand in hand, not just with the residents, but also the housing authority, and collaborate in conjunction with the housing authority to come up with the best relocation plan for this site. I'd like to also conclude by actually passing the mic on to my colleague and co-developer, the Warren Group, and give an opportunity to every one of our team members so that they can talk a little bit about their companies and their local experiences here in the district.
Thank you, Rosa. Again, my name is Andre Johnson. I'm here on behalf of the Morton Group. I'm going to talk briefly about our company history, what we bring to the table as a development company. Morton Group is privately held, minority-owned development company established in 1997. We're a district-based company. We are also an LSTDE and CDE certified entity in good standing in the district. We specialize in the development of mixed income and mixed-use properties. We've developed properties in all 8 wards of this city, with the exception of one ward, Ward 3. You know, we have something to work towards. But in any event, in all seriousness, we're very proud of our record and extremely proud of our public-private partnerships with the District of Columbia Housing Authority and the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Economic Development. We currently have 8 projects in our shop under development. They run the gamut anywhere from pre-development all the way up to construction completion. 7 of those 8 projects are in the District of Columbia. So it speaks volumes to our commitment to the city. And it shows it as a developer for this project. We plan on making a commitment and streamlined process to make sure that all 147 of the residents that are being displaced are given the opportunity to come back and be a part of the new park board if they choose to do so. Now, we know we can only do this with the help of you, the community, so we look forward to working with you on this aspect and every aspect of the development process. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good.
Thanks so much for having us. My name is Akash Thekar. I'm the Senior Vice President of the company UIA. I'd like to start off by thanking you for having us. I always say that this is my full-time job, so this is what I do, but for you to be here and volunteer your time is much appreciated, and that really is the way to get a good project done, is by working with the folks in the community, know the needs of the community, and can work with a qualified development team to get to the common goal of getting the project completed. So as I said, I'm with the company UIA. What do we do and what is our role on this team? We are an urban infill home ownership focused firm. We develop squarely in this region. The District of Columbia, Montgomery County, Arlington, and Alexandria is really all we focus on. Over the past 22 years, we've developed over 4,000 units, and I'd say about 95% of those are home ownership. So our role on this team is to provide home ownership, but not just home ownership opportunities, but really high quality, mixed income, integrated home ownership. That is what we focus on. A couple of examples of our work: we've worked with the District of Columbia Housing Authority in the past at a project called what was Arthur Capper Carrollsburg and is now Capitol Quarters. So that's just south of the Southeast-Southwest Freeway down by the ballpark. Very, very large, complicated project. Our role in that project was to demolish approximately 400 units and bring back a mixed income community based principally of row homes. And so a lot of what we do is, and I think one of the reasons Penrose asked us to join this team is, this is a community, the Parkview community, the broader community of home ownership and of row homes. So if you take a stroll down by the ballpark and see Capitol Quarter, there's another project called Chancellor's Row over in Brookland that we're just now completing, about 230 units there, mixed income as well. There's a project down at 13th and E Streets that we completed about 10 years ago on what is now the E Street corridor, about 100 units of row homes. And so what we like to do is weave into sort of the Washington fabric the existing architectural style of what is here and what has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years to make communities feel like they've been there forever. I think sort of the important question for you folks in the community, for the Deputy Mayor's Office, for the District of Columbia Housing Authority is, number one, who will work with the community to sort of meet their needs and missions, meet your needs and mission, and number two, who will have the financial capacity, the capacity and the expertise to get the project completed. That's probably most important to all of you here. So what I'd ask you to do is, in Penrose's case, one of the largest and most successful affordable housing developers really in the country. In the Morton Group's case, a little side note fact, myself and the principal of the Morton Group, Warren Williams, went to high school at St. John's here in the district together. I'm a Wardport resident, have been since I was a year old. And so, have a passion personally as well for developing in the city. We develop around the city, but what I like to do most candidly is develop in the city. But back to this most important piece around who can complete the project. I'd ask you to jump on Penrose's website, jump on UIA's website, take a stroll through Capitol Quarter or through Chancellor Row or through Harrison Square. That is the type of quality that we will bring to the table if we are selected. And our goal is to provide mixed income housing opportunities, but frankly to build a project that will continue the progress that this community has made over the past 5, 10, 15, and 20 years. And that's what we're committed to do. And if given the opportunity, we look forward to working with you to make that a reality. So thank you again for your time, and we look forward to answering your questions and engaging in a healthy discussion this evening.
Good evening. I'm Michael Winsack. I'm president of Winsack & Associates, Architects and Planners. We're a CBD district-based company. We've worked in the district redeveloping and developing affordable for the last 29 years. More than some of these people say. And we were very fortunate right from the start to get involved in some very large projects that most architects would have looked at as something they didn't want to do. But we got into communities that were forgotten and underserved. One of them was Edward Terrace. And we went in and redeveloped it and tried to make it a catalyst for the redevelopment and strengthening the whole neighborhood. And that was a really successful project, 880 units, went on for a number of years. We worked with the residents at Mayfair Mansions, which you may know, which is another 860-unit project, where we redeveloped an historic community, again, at Edward Notice Placement, at Mayfair Mansions, Notice Placement. And we really stressed working with and listening to the community. This is your home, and what I get a lot of passion out of is hearing, I go to community meetings early on, and there's a lot of passion about what people like in the community, what they want to see in the community, and what changes they'd like. And I think the architect and the planner has a great ability to push a team to get your vision set and to create that. And then finally, we've really pushed the envelope on all of our projects. We've done in the district over 12,000 units of affordable placement, affordable and mixed income. By pushing the developers and the envelope, we can provide the amenities that you see on Massachusetts Avenue, the highest end building, in every building in the city, no matter what income level income mix. Because the space is available, the money is available, and if the passion is there, the mission gets met. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Larry Kramer with Harvard Builders. We are a 50-year-old company founded here on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring. We have built over 7,000 units in the district, over 35 projects, including some of them already named Capitol Gateway, Eastgate, all the Washington Estates, Parkside Terrace, and currently renovating the Edgewood Terrace project. The hallmark of our success has been the ability to partner with the community. Over the last 5 years, we have had over 200,000 man-hours devoted to local residents. We've hired over 65 residents from those communities that we work in, and we've exceeded our minority and CBE goals by 15%, and have never missed those goals in any project. We've done over 50 projects with Penrose in a short time span, 20 years, and we know that Penrose can get this job done. We'll be a great partner with the community.
Every one of our team members on this stage are really leaders in their their respective disciplines and very well known in the industry. And they bring to the table a huge depth of experience, a really broad vision, and they understand almost innately what community redevelopment means. And I have profound respect for every one of my team members and colleagues on this stage, and really truly believe that we have the qualifications and expertise, not just from a technical capacity, but also from a very holistic, human quality perspective. Our goal is to keep the channels of communication open with you, is to not just talk at you, but listen to you and learn from the community. And there are different ways that we learn from the community, through focus groups, through formal meetings, through informal meetings, maybe just that one phone call, someone has a question. All of those things are very important in really trying to establish the vision of the community. Michael mentioned, the design process, and that's a really great and fun way to try to establish this community vision. And I've seen him in action, and I know he's very good, and we work together to try to establish that community vision. And I think that's what's really important. If there's anything that you walk away with from us, it's that our goal is to really listen to you and integrate your community vision as we move forward in the development process. And I think with that, unless someone else has a concluding remark, I'd like to maybe open the floor up to questions.
Okay, for Penrose, given the total number of units of housing that you've created, what percentage roughly of that has been affordable housing?
I would say at this point about 95%.
95%?
Yes, ma'am. The question was what percentage of the total number of units that we've developed are affordable? It's about 95%.
And that's of the units that I mentioned were developed in Baltimore. Now, we have 15,000 units that we've developed total. And in our mixed income communities, we try to strive for at least one-third, one-third, one-third. Any other questions? I'm sorry I can't see so far back.
Sorry. So my question was, one of you mentioned that the goal is to get all 147 households the option to return. Could you provide a little more detail about how you would approach reentry and making sure everyone
Yeah, that was our co-developer who had mentioned that we believe we are very good at relocation. And our first step would be to work collaboratively with the Housing Authority to establish a relocation plan that's customized and very specific for this community. All of that will hinge on what our master planning process outcome will be. So the goal here is to minimize relocation, minimize the number of moves, build first, and potentially have tenants move only once. That will be the goals, and we will be working together with the Housing Authority to try to minimize as much of that relocation as possible. And as far as returning to the site, 100% of the residents at the Park Morton site have the right to return. And that was something that was very explicitly laid out in the RFP. It's something that we believe in.
Right?
In a lot of the communities that we've worked in, we've accomplished that.
She said 100% of them will have the right to come.
Yeah, I'm a commissioner of homes, and I told me y'all supposed to be proposal working in. How y'all gonna work with me and with the ANC? Because I hear y'all talking, but y'all ain't never mentioned none that you have worked with ANCs or y'all have worked with local groups.
I'm going to pass the mic on.
Part of our business is working with the community, and this is what we do. So if selected, you'll probably be tired of seeing my face and getting my phone calls. I can rest assured you'll see a lot of it. But honestly, we work very strongly with AMCs, community groups. I've been to Sylvia's meetings several times. I've called her a lot. She knows who I am. So trust me, if we are selected, you will know who we are and you will hear from us.
Just want to add to that response in terms of how do we work with ANC. So we do a lot of business in the city. And our goal is to start working with you from day one. So I'm going to second that and say you'll get tired of seeing us. But our end goal, I think it's pretty simple. We want full support of your ANC. We want to hear what you want to do. One thing I'll always say is I can't sit here and say that as a team we'll be able to give you everything that you want. What I can say is that we work very hard to achieve your highest priorities, and our hope and our goal is, there's a zoning process and an entitlement process, and we want 100% ANC support because we want to get through that process. We want to build something that you want in your community, and we want you to be able to look back when it's done and say they worked with us. And so when we go after the next project, you'll say, hey, these guys, they didn't give us lip service, they worked with us, and the end result was what we expected them to do.
Yes.
Okay, so which of your organizations is bringing control of an off-site parcel to the table?
My understanding is we're not talking about the specific proposal at this point.
I don't want to know which off-site parcel. I just want to know which of your organizations is going to be the one to bring that to the table.
The question was which one of our organizations is bringing the off-site parcels to the table?
I mean, we're just based and local, so we're going to take the brunt of that, but we're working collectively to make this happen.
Any other questions?
Yes. You can have available accommodations for seniors who have disabilities.
Absolutely. In everything that we do, we consider the needs of the residents. We have very detailed survey tools that we use to get to know residents in the beginning. We take into account any special needs that there may be. We actually have a nonprofit organization called PenReach that provides supportive services in some of our sites. And their mission is to create self-sufficiency through a very holistic approach. It's a customized approach. It's not a cookie-cutter approach. And we take into consideration the educational needs, training needs, employment needs, but also the needs of our elderly and disabled residents. All of that gets taken into consideration. Thank you for your question. Yes, sir.
Just to clarify, the first question is, who's the boss?
Same question you had last time, right?
And then there are, even though everybody said last time didn't happen, what lessons learned could your team bring forward to ensure that you get a better outcome this time?
So Penrose is the lead developer, and we are developing the property in conjunction with the Warren Group. They're our co-developer. So definitely major decisions. We will be consulting with our co-developer partner. And, obviously we will be consulting as well with our housing authority partner and the residents of the Park Morton community. But ultimately, Penrose will have the majority stake in the redevelopment, and will take responsibility for that. As far as lessons learned from the previous selection process, I personally was not involved in that. We were not selected. So there wasn't any particular lesson learned, I think, on our end. I don't know if anyone has anything else to add about that. Yes, ma'am.
Morton.
Yes, ma'am.
Lessons learned, you were part of phase one.
We completed phase one, and we're back here. Sorry. I'm saying we completed phase one. We're very proud of that. The development partner that we started with wasn't as committed as we are to finishing this project. That's why we're back here with the right team.
So, if phase one was when you complete, what will be the next phase on Park Road? Is that phase two? Are we still in phase one?
Yeah, this is the development. We're talking about now the development of phase two, which is development of Park Morton proper itself. Yeah, I said now we're here talking about the phase two development, which is Park Morton itself.
How much involved will the residents have their input as to what they want? Have you guys met with the residents? Have you had meetings with the residents to get a feel for what it is that they want?
I guess that's going to be done once the selection process is completed. But I can say this, that if we are selected, we're going to make it our business to meet with the residents as often as possible to get as much input as we possibly can from them, from start to finish.
So just so I understand, you're not going to start, not just you per se, the residents of Park Morton will have no input until the selection is made, other than the parent. No input. So you guys basically don't know what the residents want.
Well, at this time, all the teams that came in to present, the housing authority and the city are going to make the decision as to who they're going to choose as developer, and then at that time, they will work with the community to decide what's best for Park Morton.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one more for y'all. How about the hiring process? Who want to do the hiring? Who want to educate the people who want to live in Park Morton and want to be part of the building?
I'm going to defer to Harkins on some of the hiring. They've got training programs, and we've worked with them, as he had stated before, many times on various different redevelopments, and we strive to and we make sure that our general contractor not only achieves the goals but exceeds the goals. And I'm going to defer right now to Larry.
Sure. As Harkins Builders, as the lead general contractor, we would be responsible for any of the on-site hiring needs. We do that through job fairs. The most popular way we do it multiple times throughout the process. The project will go through a lengthy design process. We start early in that, get to the local community, local small business agents and things of that nature to help us find those residents along with working with the DC offices that will also pre-screen people for us.
And as architects, we have professional jobs that we can give skills to. So over the years, we've brought people in from some of the communities we work in, and taught them how to work in the computer drafting systems that we have. And they've worked their way up. Several of them stay on after an internship, and they work their way up to the company. And that's happened about 6 times to date, and I keep in touch with a lot.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.